Hello, and welcome my Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. Welcome to your 8-card draw. What do I need? Shadow read for this full moon in Scorpio to new moon in Taurus, and it goes void, of course, and it goes into Gemini, May 2023. How you like the new music? I like it a lot. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons. Mal for short. My initials, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions since 1998. We just crossed 25 years in business on May 1st. So happy about that. We'll talk about that at the end of the video. If you want to hang around for that, I am the author of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch. There is a Kindle version available of it. There is a link in the description box, and if you click that link, you can preview some of the prayers, practices, and principles that have kept me in business, well, for more than 25 years for sure. I've had a long career as a professional witch and all of that jazz, but that's the Kindle version. The original version, edited with my beloved Scorpio sister Jill Schweitzer. That version of Words of Grace from a Professional Witch, which is like a Fellini movie compared to Kindle, is over on Patreon, patreon.com. Some of my subscribers on Patreon get that as what's called a benefit over there, but all of my subscribers across the board, regardless of level of subscription, gets three things in common. Number one, they get all the extended readings that I've done in the past, the part 2s to the part 1s here on YouTube. They're all relationship based stuff. They're juggernauts. They get access to all of them, past, present, and into the future, as long as they are subscribers. They also get me pretty much every single morning with a daily check-in. They can chat with me with an unlisted YouTube live stream link talking about the day's astrological weather, the magical applications, the spiritual implications, always ending with a prayer, a little blessing, a little something to send us on our way. And it's the perfect way to set up my day for what I do as president of Drawing the Circle Productions and all of that. And of course, that third thing that they have in common is they get quite the discount for private sessions with me. So there's also a link in the description box, booking private sessions with Mal for the 25th anniversary. I made a new one for Patreon, as well as I made one for the 25th anniversary itself. So if you don't want to hang around for the end of this, when I talk about it a bit, you can click those links in the description box at any time moving forward. So come Patreon on Patreon, because we've got some work to do here today. Let's do some explanation for the new Capricorns and Crosswatchers, and then we'll go into divination. If you are new, welcome. An 8-card draw is just one card from 8 different decks, getting you clues, tips, and hints about really anything. It's like a card of the day, right, or a quick cut, you do like that, but we're doing 8 of them. For a 2-week period of releasing and letting go and surrendering and forgiving, and, well, I prefer the language of spiritual alchemy, alchemizing lead to gold, lead having 3 more atoms than gold that cannot be created or destroyed, only changed, transformed, released, resolved, whatever language you like. And that's what a waning moon does. That's the point. When the moon rides at her peak, then ye heart's desire seek. We will talk about that. And then 3 days after that, enjoy the 3 days into and out of the full moon, and then start the shadow work, the releasing, the letting go, because that orb, that energy of the full moon really builds up, goes down, but then you're going into real waning. So let's talk about that. Full moon in Scorpio. It's an eclipse. Friday, Cinco de Mayo, 1:34 p.m. Eastern. I am in New York. That feels so intense. That's why I do the 5-card draws. The waxing, right? The beautiful, beautiful is how I remember those. So whatever you planted, get ready, because someone's getting their stuff touched. I just feel that. Like, particularly Cinco de Mayo and tequila involved, possibly. Woo! Alert. Talking about a shadow read. But then it is, a couple of weeks of letting go to the new moon in Taurus. On Friday, the 19th of May, 11:53 a.m. And I'm going to say that it feels really powerful, a Friday to a Friday. Friday is the day of Venus. That's why it's Scorpio in Venus. But then Taurus, on that Venus kind of day, that just feels really strong. It does go void, of course, 1:51 p.m. Eastern, and then goes into Gemini 2:48, and a Gemini weekend after this, planting that seed, and I will have the 5-card draws out before for the 18th. Those will all be done if I'm lucky. And in between those two dates, just of note, Venus goes into Cancer, which is your opposite sign. On the 7th of May, Mercury goes direct, finally, at 11:17 p.m. on the 14th of May. And because you are an Earth sign, it's good to know that Jupiter is going into Taurus on the 16th. So that will be a trine at some point to Capricorn as well as Virgos. I'm a Virgo sun sign. Can you tell? I have a clipboard. Yeah. So it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. Cross-watchers, you have the opportunity to get some insight, to get some understanding, some sympathy, and some empathy. For the cross-watchers, you are cross-watching for. But if you apply some of this to your own energy field, there are chakras involved in this reading if you're new. And my book, Words of Grace, is broken down into chakra chapters. Could be helpful, I'm just saying. Oh, it saved my life writing that book. So if you apply some of this to your own cross-watcher, you will be automatically doing your own alchemy from lead to gold. But you will also holographically be helping not just the Capricorn you're cross-watching for, but the entire Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs, because that's how unity works, apparently. Yeah. So that's, I think, enough explanation, don't you think? Yeah, so the shift from explanation to divination happens in the still point. It's one of my favorite things to do. Oh, watch what happens in my energy field. Great fun. Please take a nice day. Oh, both feet on the floor if you can. Focus on your breath if you will. And I will do my best. Oh, yeah. To help you clear the field, right? To do your shadow work, to make your life better, to shift to a more golden timeline and plant a nice seed at that Taurus new moon. Yeah. Please take a nice deep breath. That's a good one. And here we go, using for deck number 1, the Caroline Mace archetype cards. And I call to the collective pantheons of the divine. Oh, I feel that. Woo, I feel that. For the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video, receiving this reading, beloved pantheons of the divine, what is the dominant archetype in the 8th chakra hovering over the head of the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross-watchers watching this video and drawn to this reading that will affect all the chakras underneath it, what they attract and what they repel, so they have the choice to no longer delay what cannot be prevented in the development of this soul power, doing the shadow work, the healing, the releasing, the letting go, this full to new May 2023. Ooh, the athlete archetype work. Creative family archetype, and you might not think of athletes as creative, but think about body building, right? Just an example, which, by the way, I know I lost a lot of weight, but I've been doing a lot of protein, and I've been dancing and doing yoga, and I think resistance and weight training is now going to put some meat back on these bones, because you look at some pictures of me from the past. I've gone through my cocoon stage. This is butterfly, but we can do a little bit more beefy butterfly. Written on this card is the shadow attribute. That's the lead. The top, the light attribute. That's the gold, and somewhere in between we find ourselves. I actually have the athlete archetype. You can have an archetype, a reason, a season, or a lifetime. I'm a dancer, right? That is athletic. And creative family archetype, that's a form of art, but for me it's a soul art. Like, I'm not looking to make money on it. That's just my communion with the divine. So feel this one out. The lead, misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Now keep that word entitlement in mind. Entitlement is the retitled deadly sin of lust in the solar plexus. So we'll see when we get to the solar plexus card about that. The gold, dedication to transcending physical limits, including handicaps, and those may not necessarily all be physical handicaps, right? Development of personal willpower, strength, and spirit. I'm there. Like, I am so very there, particularly in terms of my creativity, right? Though I'm not competing in anything, it is purely me setting my own limits and going and training, right? So even spiritually, be a spiritual athlete. Did anybody else hear that? Did anybody else hear that? What was that? Oh boy. Well, it looks like the divine has taken over the text, so let's just roll with it, shall we? Athlete in the 8. Let's look at the next 4 chakras down. Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Your internal world, the world behind your eyes, your feminine energy, call it what you like. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. Oh, yeah. As I call upon my goddesses of earth, the sign of Capricorn, powers of the north, please, my beloved goddesses of cardinal earth, 1 card in clarity. The Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video, who were drawn to, guided to, maybe you brought them to this reading, beloved goddesses of cardinal earth. What do they need to be aware of inside heart, third eye, crown, throat chakra minimum, because they have the choice, the willpower to delay what can't be prevented. What do they need to know about to alchemize that athlete from lead to gold? This full to new, the Taurus card. Okay. Court card on the inner. Now it's Earth, so if you have any planets in Taurus, this is the Mother of Pentacles. It would be the Queen of Pentacles in traditional Rider-Waite-based tarot. The Great Corn Mother. Now look, Earth for Earth, that's pretty good. And, oh wait, what is going into Jupiter's going into Taurus. Ooh, now inside, that is wisdom that cannot be taken from you. Fixed Earth, Taurus, second house, life values. And the outside, that might be money, right? Durable goods, but things that you value lifelong. So an athlete who's really tuned into their core values, right? To be the best that I can be, right? To leave it on the dance floor. There's a wonderful book called Sweating Your Prayers by Gabrielle Roth that I read a long time ago, and it sticks with me still to this day. So I actually have a Spotify playlist called Sweating Prayers specifically for that. And I share it here and there with people that I trust and love, because it's a lot of 80s. You got to be ready for some of that stuff. And then out of nowhere, like Art of Noise, which is 80s too, but whatever. So yeah, there's something stable, there's something strong, there's something centered here. And if we're going to give it a chakra, heart, throat, third eye, or crown, I would say certainly the wisdom of the heart there. Right? That's like, no, it's written in my heart. This is of the most important, of the highest value to me, like honesty, like truth, right? Like compassion, right? That kind of stuff. Well, let's see what this looks like on the outside with the Mythic Tarot for the lower 3 chakras. Relationships in the physical world, including your relationship to yourself, which is solar plexus, who you want to be in this world. Outside looking in at yourself, or you from the inside looking out at other people, places, and things. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon my gods of earth, the sign of Capricorn. Powers of the north, please, that was for me in my relationships with Capricorn men in general. Please, 1 card in clarity for the Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers. It was 2 of Cups. Oh, watching this video who were drawn to this reading, please. I know. Please, what does the Capricorn and the crosswatcher need to know to help them alchemize the lead to gold of the athlete in the 8th, Taurus on the inner, this full to new. All right, King of Wands, you got another court card on the outside. Now, have any planets in Aries, King of Wands, right? Cardinal fire, a square to your cardinal earth is Capricorn. Challenging, but can be very, very fulfilling as those challenges. They make you grow, right? They make you strong. Now, the thing about that is that it's also a horned animal, as well as Taurus, as well as Capricorn. So there could be some horny going on here, some hornish, let's say, like a hornish game hen, I don't know, whatever. Playing the game, athlete. Look, this could either be you from the outside looking in, I'm going to say solar plexus. There it is. Watch your entitlement. How I track entitlement for myself, and I learned this from Caroline Mace, MYSS. She's a PhD. Those are her archetype cards. Keep an eye on the word deserve. Deserve is different than worthy. It's like almost like, well, maybe this is archetypally true. Deserve is more of the lead end, right? We're worthy. We're all worthy. We're all worthy. What do you mean worthy? You're an immortal soul that incarnates over and over and over again on a journey from unity into an illusion of separation. It's just like a video game. Come on, you're divine at your core. Right? There's a life value for you, which could really inspire someone with the athlete archetype to say, well, okay then, right? Solar plexus, this might be someone, though, that you are dealing with, looking at from the inside out, right? Some kind of relationship. It does feel like one person, but remember, there can also be mirroring. And there are links in the description, one link in the description box about the 7 Essene mirrors. You spot it, you got it. It's just the first of 7 mirrors. Just saying. Greg Braden, check it out. It's really good. It's like a 2-hour workshop. Really, really good. So keep that in mind. This person need not be an Aries sun sign, but I would say first house, dynamic for sure, cardinal fire, Aries energy, not necessarily childish, but there's, you know, it's the child of the zodiac, but could be very passionate, very initiatory, might make the first move. Let's see, we got more cards to hit the table. So remember those atoms in between lead and gold? Well, Ganesh sees those as obstacles. And so we're going to use the whispers of Lord Ganesh to get a clue, a tip, a hint, some guidance and grace for the caps and the cross watchers of how to release those. Angelo Hartfield, wonderful book. I started cultivating my relationship with Lord Ganesh 25 years ago when I started the company, when I took the first sphere workshop with the Ishaya monks. I keep mentioning it because it's come back so strong into my life, and they teach 5 spheres publicly, and I took all 5. They're really amazing. Please take a nice deep breath, and so is Ganesh, and so are you. Please take a nice deep breath. I got a Capra crush. No one in particular, just the sign. Still point. As I call to the beloved Lord Ganesh, Hindu, elephant-headed god of success, prosperity, and remover of obstacles, please, beloved one. One card in clarity, please, for the Capricorn collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and crossfires. Watching this video who are drawn to this reading, maybe you drew them to this reading. Ganesh, what is your guidance, your grace, your wisdom, your power, your oracle message to help the Capricorns and the cross watchers alchemize the athlete from lead to gold with Taurus on the inner, Aries on the outer, this full to new? Courage, mon amour. Courage, mon amour. Courage. Ganesh riding the lion of her mother, given to him by his mother Parvati. Now this has come up before. Just give me a sec. Let's see if I... Oh, well, no, that's a different card. Go in there. Come on, there's Ganesh. I put a G next to it. Ew, Libra got this. Venus and Libra. How interesting. Card number 50. I'm just going to read you just a little bit of this. The whole thing. Why not? Yeah. Is this the last? It's the last. I didn't even realize this. This is the last card in the deck. Huh. Breathe. Card number 50, Courage. The warmth of your open heart can give comfort to all who cross your path. Now that's a love athlete. The root word for courage is cœur. C-O-E-U-R, which is the French word for heart. Courage comes from the heart. So does the groove. Usually. It is an inner strength guided by love which seeks truth and justice. Woof. When you have the courage to be true to yourself, you start to feel empowered to act and live in ways true to your own soul without any illusion. Now that's a life value worth investing in. Ganesha is urging you to let down your guard and stop wearing a mask. Begin to have more respect for yourself as well as for others. Beware of making harsh judgments about yourself and others. When you come from the heart, you will find that you relate better to others. Your innate gifts will be able to shine through. You are capable of leadership, achievement, and inspiring others to succeed through your own success. When you draw this card, it is a sign that your ability to cooperate and thrive in peer ventures, groups, right, with like-minded individuals is heightened. Be willing to do what is needed for things to run smoothly for you. Ganesha promises great success if you're willing to let down your walls. See, that's the shadow work part of it, the releasing of the, not eliminating all your boundaries, oh hell no, but letting go of ones that no longer serve, perhaps, the lead, alchemically speaking. He is pictured here on the powerful lion inherited from his mother Parvati. The lion represents the fierce nature of Ganesha. He calls on you now to trust the fearless part of your being, your own inner lion, and invites you to work with him to learn how to be valiant and harness your heart's great courage. Meow. Roar. Yeah, let's keep moving on, right? So definitely, you know, that, like I said, this kind of be like heart chakra. What are your values, right? Who do you want to be? And if this is you, if you're interpreting this as you from the outside looking in at yourself, it's absolutely your choice. It's absolutely your solar plexus ability to cardinal fire create this. But square to Capricorn, but again, cross watchers, you do you. Get a Matt Kahn healing mantra to help with the chakra stuff. I write down all of mine for all of the readings for my sun, moon, rising, and Venus sign, and I work them for the 2-week period, waxing and waning, and, you know, then the work, career, vocations, whatever. I've had this deck since it was published, and I bought it right off Matt Kahn's website, so highly recommend it. Please take a nice deep breath. Tell him I said, hey. No kickbacks. Still point. As I call upon the ascended masters of creativity, creation and creativity, please, beloved ascended masters, one card in clarity for the Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and receive to this reading that the creative family archetype of the athlete can be in so many different ways, right? It doesn't have to do completely with sports, obviously. That there can be people who are athletes spiritually, mentally, emotionally, right? So what is a perfect healing mantra to help them alchemize? The lead to gold. Athlete in the 8th. Taurus on the inner, Aries on the outer. Removing obstacles with courage. This full to new. Untangling neglect. I can't believe that this is the one. They just taught, my guides just taught me something about this like last night. All right, untangling neglect. I got it for a Pisces read. I'm a Pisces moon. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. So I'm going to show you what they showed me. It's very visceral and very good for earth signs. I'm Virgo. So how do you approve of yourself? What do you walk around saying? I approve of myself. Now, that is Louise Hay 101. You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. Brilliant. I mean, I had the original soft cover with the rainbow heart on it. I mean, I was in early, on the Louise Hay ride, so to speak, even though that's a different thing that you should look into. What she did with the Hay ride was absolutely miraculous, but that's another story. But I used to take, she'd say, I approve of myself 100 times a day, right, all day long. And so, I'm a little musical, a little that. So I took From When the Saints Come Marching In, and I approve of myself, right? A little goofy. I've done it in other readings, you can imagine. But I was like, okay, that's fine. And my guides were like, so here's what you do. MAL for short. Thumbs up. It's approval. Just do this. Right? Now, taking the time, right? I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. And we all have heart's desires for approval, but there's a specific frequency of approval that only we can give ourselves. That's the tea. The shade, and if you're lucky, some pink lemonade. Let's untangle some neglect. Neglect is one of the 4 ego wounds: abuse, neglect, codependence, and loss. I don't know anybody who's not dealing with any of them, at least not on Long Island. So let me read this to you. I take the time to give myself all the approval I desire. So visceral. When neglect is untangled, you're no longer turning to outside sources for constant reassurance and validation. Instead, you're going within the depths of your own heart to notice the parts of yourself that require the presence of your attention. In nurturing yourself in this way, you step forward as the first responder to each wound, concern, and desire. From this space, there becomes less of a likelihood of attracting relationships where further neglect occurs, simply because you have accepted your role as the one who nurtures the innocence within you. And guess where that innocence is? Behind all the mountain ranges, behind, like in the valley, and beyond the castle, right? Within the castle walls, right? Your innocence, the soul, the immortal soul, the traveler. Like when people cross, people say, "Hail the traveler." Well, that is the traveler, and ain't nobody staying in the same body forever unless you're Nosferatu, and no Nosferatu, no Nanette Nosferatu, no thanks, not into it. But certainly that innocence is within all of us. So as you do that for yourself, a first responder to your desires, right? We want all sorts of things. I'm really feeling the throat chakra here. There is something stuck in my throat, and certainly that can do about the choice for courage to actually follow your heart without, of course, think about it. Slow and steady wins the race, but you don't have to take action on this immediately while you're untangling neglect. Like think about being caught up like in a net or a web, or to tangle web we weave, if perhaps there was some practicing to deceive. I didn't write that, can you imagine? So, keep this in mind. This mantra is ideal for building self-confidence, surviving codependency, another one of those wounds, and healing neediness. Because there's nothing wrong with the inner child, for example, to feel needy. But as much as we want to get it from the outside, if we give it to ourselves first, little by little by little, then the shadow work here really can unfold in a loving way. Now let's keep in mind, this internal mother of Pentacles here is the great corn mother, sort of like the Demeter of the Americas, of the indigenous tribes of North America, right? Just so beautiful, so nurturing, and so stable. I love this. I love this. Is it easy? It's athletic. Is it athletic if it's easy? Do you know what I mean? How do you develop muscle? Right? How do you develop skill? Well, according to Tony Robbins, who I still think is one of the hottest men on planet Earth. We're so tall. I like tall. Repetition is the mother of skill. So what are you creating here in your chakric... No, Mark, don't go there. I almost John Watered us. Let's not. Let's move on. Some of you. Pink flamingos know what I'm talking about. Speaking of flamingos, let's go to pink or otherwise. No, Mark. The Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. I have to keep this fun. And by the way, the reason why I get away with so much and why I get to see so much of all this stuff is I'm the fun one that gets the job done. And that's iambic pentameter. Let's ask your spirit animals and totems. If anybody can make a shadow raid fun, it's me. Please take a nice deep breath. Spoonful of goofy to make the shadow work go down. Still point. As I call upon the pantheon of the animal kingdom, as I call to the spirit animals and totems, there we are, for the Capricorn collective sun, moon, rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and were drawn to, guided to, led to this reading, who walks with them, who swims with them, who flies with them, who crawls with them, offering them the guidance, the grace, the wisdom, the power, the support, the protection, and the oracle message to help them alchemize the lead to gold of the athlete and the eighth, Taurus on the inner, Aries on the outer, removing obstacles with courage and untangling neglect. This, was a really good sentence there, this full to new. Freedom! The horse. Now I know the horse was here. Was it a horse? A horse? Of course. It's good. A horse. Mr. Ed. Oh, and I know a Capricorn named Ed who's like really tall. He's probably not going to watch this video. He's a busy man, as most Capricorns are. He's like almost 7 feet. Gorge. Card number 24. Oh, gorge. Like a man I can climb who won't break. Card number 24. Hey, look, I'm doing this during the Scorpio moon, right before. It is in Scorpio moon, the day before the full moon in Scorpio. So bomb chicka wow wow, please don't cancel me, but please take a nice deep breath. Because if you want to ride the white horse. Freedom, card number 24. To be truly free, we must learn true independence. Trust yourself, as listening to people who may have other agendas is not the way to make good, clear decisions. Individuation from our parents is a natural process, although it is often fraught with difficulty on both sides. Your true power resides in your ability to always know you have a choice, and it is yours to make. As I cough up the collective, what's sticking in the craw or the Capricorns, it's a lot of, it's a lot of alliteration today. Great. Great. This is what happens when you surrender your will to the divine and Wim Hof and Ho'oponopono before you do a reading, or as I like to call it, the Wim Ho. I'm going to read you a little bit about horse magic. Is profoundly free and powerful. To ride a horse at full gallop is to experience a sacred bolt of the most primal liberty. Right? Untangling neglect, right? It's totally there. When you are feeling trapped or small, expand your field by calling for their energy. There's also a long history in physical and mental healing with horse energy. This can be used when you are ill or unstable. Horse energy invokes a calm and solid presence and can be used to quiet your spirit if you are feeling disturbed. Now, I will say, with that Taurus on the inner, I feel like there's calm, there's grounded there, but it's heart chakra, but you got some choices to make. Horse magic is also an expression of trust. If a powerful horse could go anywhere it wants, a powerful horse could go anywhere it wants, yet it is willing to be led. Now, I'm not saying that you should let anybody in the outside world lead you, unless they're going where you want to go, maybe, right? But if hopefully they're teaching by example. But, a person trusts the horse to be sure-footed, leap and run away from danger, while the horse trusts the human to be its partner, to not hinder, to take care of it, to guide it. It can be a very deep bond if you allow it to be. If you're ever doubting yourself, here comes the courage part, or feeling trapped, engage some horse energy, expanding your field by calling on their energy. I mean, that makes sense here, right? So let's just take a little bit of an image here, right? So let's say your core life values here, right? You're trying to live according to them. Maybe you're making some new changes or whoever that Aries King of Wands is, right? So you have wounds of neglect, like chains around the heart, right? So courage, hard, right? Right? To bring out the courage to do something, particularly if it's a brand new relationship. And then the horse, you call in that horsepower. I mean, that's a known phrase at this point across the planet. Horsepower. To do this, to get your gallop on. Now remember, this is the shadow work. You don't need to necessarily take external stuff here. But something solar plexus will I would say, look, listen to your solar plexus intuition. If it makes a fist, you're violating something, or you're about to violate your honor code, who you really want to be. And also, if you find yourself overthinking and stuck, open the heart. Matt Kahn, I love him so much. I don't know, we're not like besties or anything. We've never met. But he says when the head gets overthinking, and I'm a Virgo, I know it. I know what that feels like, obviously. It's like an alarm saying, your heart's not open, right? So courage, open your heart. Now look, if this is a romantic thing, because it very well could be, particularly if you're dealing with an athletic relationship, which sounds like fun to me. Even if that's, building it in stages, setting goals and going for them, right? To do that in this kind of freeing way with an open heart, as you're taking care of yourself on the inside, untangling neglect, sometimes you gotta move the jewelry. 2 cards left. The Archangel Fire Oracle is next. Everyone has access to the archangelic kingdoms. Essentially, your higher self is called a guardian angel, or has been. Why else would it be following you around like that? And your higher self, as a guardian angel, if you want to look at it that way, belongs to a larger grouping called an archangel, and then it goes up the choirs all the way back to source. That's when I say beloved pantheons of the divine. I'm talking all of them all the way back to source, right? But archangels, and really angels in general, only come if you call them. So, up to you. Free will. throat chakra. Please take a nice deep breath. Still point. As I call upon the pantheon of archangels for the Capricorn collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, signs, and crosswatchers watching this video who are drawn to this reading, please, which archangel is waiting in the wings with their wings ready to swoop in and help with this this guidance, this grace, their wisdom, their power, their oracle message, and will actually show up if they are so called to help them alchemize the athlete in the 8th, Taurus, Mother of Pentacles on the inner, King of Wands, Aries on the outer, removing obstacles with courage, untangling neglect with the horse magic of freedom, this full to new. Card number 1. Sariel, Dark Night of the Soul. It's not written on the card, but you don't forget a card like this. Look, Dark Night of the Soul, St. John of the Divine or St. John of the Cross. I can't remember. I get my St. John's confused, which is weird considering I grew up next to West Islip. That's a very specific Long Island reference. I lived in Bayshore on the water. Dark Night of the Soul, man. It's not a bad day in Earth School. It's when your life gets screwed up beyond your ability to possibly screw it up because you're sitting in the palm of the hand of the divine. Oh, is it Divine Madness? No, Divine Madness is a Bette Midler album. It's Spiritual Madness by Carolyn Mace. If you can find it on video or MP3, it is amazing. I had it on audio cassette back in the 90s, man. So yeah, I've been through a bunch of them, and it ain't a 24-hour period. Those things can go on for years. And what did I do wrong? You didn't. You feel abandoned by the divine because it's so right in front of you and in you that you can't see it. And as I said to my spiritual director through my last really bad hairy one, I summed it up by saying the Dark Night of the Soul is the most powerful spiritual transformation you can go through. That sucks beginning, middle, and end. And he goes, yeah. Read the original. Well, there's a poem and there's a treatise. I just can't remember. It's St. John of the Cross. I think it's St. John of the Cross. You do you. Yes, I'm a witch who will study anything that has mystical truth in it, and if it doesn't resonate, you can take what resonates, leave what doesn't. You ready? I tried to astral glide you up for this one, my caps. Here we go. Archangel Sariel, Dark Night of the Soul. So Sariel, often described as one of the fallen angels and the brother of Lucifer, the light bearer. Sariel is an archangel who can help uncover the hidden blessing within the darkness. The hidden blessing is, by the way, what we call the last card down, actually the next card down with the Blessed Bee. Oracle. Unbelievable reading here, guys. If you are encountering a Dark Night of the Soul, Sariel brings comfort, helping you to offer yourself loving kindness in the depths of your despair. Oh, I don't know, untangling neglect, perhaps. He is a potent ally to call upon when you have nowhere else to turn. Sariel helps us to uncover the triumph within our loss. Like the image of him as an African Dogon priest emerging from the darkness in this card, he lights the path to redemption, reigniting hopefulness. When you have met Sariel and understand enlightenment is not only about the light, but the balancing of polarities, shadow work is what they're talking about here. You will have met the innermost sanctum of your duality and come into the eye of the storm. You can master peace within your pain. You have mastered your emotions and can find yourself at home in any situation. And, you know, I went through a bunch of dark nights in this life, but I'm a mystic. Comes with. Not everyone's a mystic. Not everybody needs to be. I get it. But if you want to be a healer, I mean, this is an athletic thing. This is spiritual athleticism. But if you're going to be a healer, counselor, any of that, how are you going to help somebody with their shadows? How are you going to help someone through a dark night of the soul if you've never gone through it yourself? It's athletic, right? You set your goals and you go for them. Surrender, Dorothy. Wow. The message. Although you may feel like you have been abandoned, although you may feel like you have abandoned hope, abandon yourself not. Untangle neglect. You are being cracked open to reveal your depths. Treasures await you on the other side of this deep initiation. That's why your core values here, that's what it's about. It's alchemy. You're going through alchemy. And I mean, I could talk about this subject forever, and I really want to write a book about shadow work. And I already have the title, but not right now. Archangel Sariel. So sorry. Last card down, the hidden blessing, the gold within the lead. We're doing with the blessed beat of Lucy Cavendish. See, I'm being mature, Capricorn. I'm not saying it how I usually say it. The gold within the lead. Look, after Dark Night of the Soul, I gotta yuck it up for a little for you. I am the Tigger to your Eeyore, and I kind of love it. So, let's ask the Pantheon of all pantheons for some light at the end of the tunnel. And then I will read it from the boogie book. It always ends with the words, blessed be. I do a little extra to kind of push the blessing out there to you in all seriousness. And then we'll talk about drawing the circles 25 and the changes going on and all that jazz. Please take a nice deep breath. Let's surrender to this for the moment. Still point. As I call to the pantheons of all pantheons, please, I request a delegation from all traditions, lineages, and cultures for the Capricorn Collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers who are watching this video and who are guided, led, drawn to this reading, beloved ones. What is the gold hidden within the lead? The hidden blessing already in place. The light at the end of the tunnel of this perhaps dark night of the soul. At least some light at the end of this 2-week period. For the Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers watching this video drawn to this reading to help them alchemize the athlete in the 8th. Taurus on the inner, King of Wands on the outer. Courage, removing obstacles, untangling neglect with horse magic, freedom, and Archangel Sariel, who it's what he does. It's his function. It's his archangelic power. So please, what is the gold within the lead for our beloved Capricorn Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs, and cross watchers for this full to new? A blessing on the waters. So it's an elemental thing here. So yeah, of course, we're looking at emotion here. Certainly, I don't see any other even water imagery here anywhere in the deck. Usually there's something, but nope. You got earth and fire there. Well, so I'm going to read this for you. Beautiful card. Pointy ears. Pointy, card number 4. And like I said, we do these for real. Now look, Dark Night of the Soul. You got to find the courage sometimes to untangle that neglect and then ask for help. And spiritual counselors and spiritual directors, that's what a lot of us came in to do. So, shall we? Still point. Pantheons of pantheons, please transmit. Card number 4, a blessing on the waters. A blessing to bring the powers of the waters to cleanse and purify, rebirth, and restore you. From the great bodies of water in this world we arose, we humans more water than flesh, shaped from the bones of land and caressed into form by the movements of our liquid mother, the ocean. We arose and came to the earth by way of water. While we wait to be born into this new lifetime, we are nurtured from conception by the waters before we emerge from our mothers and meet the land and the air. So it is to the water we turn when we must be reborn. When life stagnates or when we fall into despair, we turn to the water to bless us and shape us, to hold us up when we cannot walk, to give us a dream between the dreams, to bring back to life our emotions and wash clean the soul wearing its cloak of despair. Dark night of the soul. We ask for the blessings of the waters on our psyches so our soul self can be free of heaviness. and learn to move as water does through even the greatest blocks of stones in the rivers. We ask for the blessings of water on our blood, so our inheritance come to us untainted by the dark memories we sometimes dwell on. Dark night of the soul, man. And we ask for the blessings of waters to let us release what we are burdened with through the intelligent tears, freeing us from pent-up stores of unfreed feelings. We ask for the blessings of water on our relationships so that the water moves through and cleanses our friendships and families and lovers from the resentments that humans sometimes fall prey to. And we ask for the blessings of waters for ourselves so that, like water, we develop humility and know when to reshape our lives and flow into the best form for us now. May water smooth the sharp edges of your pain and give you ease in times when you are storm-swept and rain-dashed. May your intuition be fresh and flowing. May your feelings be clean and clear as water flowing over river rocks in the wilderness. May your emotions be as powerful as the waves of the ocean, as deep as the sea. May you accept the mysteries of your own depths. May you never and always be blessed by the waters. Blessed be, for the well-being of all, and with harm to none, as we will it, so let it be done. So would it be. That music. Now it's connected to that last thought. It starts in my head. I love it. Did you like the reading? Hit the thumbs up, like the reading. You want more of me and you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Feel free. You're welcome to. Want to know when the next video is coming out? Hit the notification bell. Feel like commenting, please do, because I would love to hear your take on this, actually, because it's interesting to hear what people see in these reads, because they're general. And all of those things that I just asked, if you'd like to do, please do. That changes the logarithm, the algorithm, so more people can find the readings. And this is kind of an important read, particularly with the Dark Night of the Soul, and a way through to do this with athletic power. So do all of that. But do know that on Patreon we don't have algorithms. You sign up for a level of subscriber, seeker, human hero, angel, witch, immortal, mystic, god, goddess gets everything. Whatever level you subscribe on, you get everything on that level of subscription since I started Patreon November 2021, right? And all the way forward, as long as you remain a subscriber, the extendeds, the daily check-ins, and a pretty good discount on private sessions with me online. And I'm always working it out, and that's why there is a video there, 25 years of Drawing the Circle Productions, for the overall changes in the company. One, welcome to Patreon, intro to Patreon, and of course booking private sessions with Mal. And look, I've worked with a lot of people going through Dark Night of the Soul. It's rough, I know, and it's so easy to blame yourself, particularly if you're kind of bound to that, oh, I create this in my reality. You didn't. It's written into the script. And it's like, you want to be just an athlete or you want to be an Olympic athlete? Well, you have the opportunity to do that. But there's a blessing on your emotions here, and there is blessing on flow. And if you really take this into the heart chakra, your life values are key here. So reach out. I'll be glad to help. Just find a way. Find a way. You'll find a way through. But certainly, most importantly, from my heart to yours, from my soul to your soul. Even cross watchers, if you're going through this yourself or with them, I'm wishing you the very, very best and the very, very blessed of this shadow work. This full in Scorpio to new in Taurus, etc., etc. Hang in there, my beloveds. I believe in you. Heal. Hail. Farewell. And blessed, blessed be.